Hello everyone, I'm Frank and welcome to Frank Puzzles, and this is today's easy level puzzle. Now, take that easiness with a grain of salt because it's considered easy by the people on the Logic Masters Germany forum, and there's a lot of really smart people there. Today's puzzle is called Dutch Flatmates Sharing Cages by Sudoku, and here are the rules. Normal Sudoku rules apply. That is, each row, column, and 3x3 region has to contain the digits from 1 to 9 once each. Dutch flatmates. Each 5 in the grid either has a 1 directly above it or a 9 directly below it. It may have both, but it does not need both. So again, every 5 in the grid has a 1 above it or a 9 below it, and it could have both, but it needs only one of those to satisfy the rule. Killer cages. Digits in a cage sum to the clue in the top left. Moreover, if cages are adjacent to each other, that is, they share an edge, they have to contain at least one common digit. So, as an example, these 3 digits can add up to, have to add up to 15. And in addition, one of these digits must be the same as one of these digits that is in this 12 cage because they are adjacent to each other. That's an additional rule set from normal killer cages. And similarly, this cage also has one digit, and it has to contain at least one common digit. It doesn't have to contain one and only one. It has to contain at least one common digit. So at least one of these digits is next to this, is in one of these cells, right? And those are all the rules. If you'd like to play along, there's going to be a link in the description. And now I'm going to get started. Let's go. Okay. So this is either 1, 2, 5 or 1, 3, 4. Either way, that means this has to, in either one, there has to be a 1 here. If this is 1, 2, 5, then this has to be 5, 7, 8, or 5, 6, 9. We're not sure which. If it's 3 or 4 here, well, okay. Where is the common one, right? It has to be this cell. So this cell has to be the same as one of these two. And so therefore this is 3, 4, or 5. And it could be with 8, 9, 6, 9, 7, 9, or 6, 7, 8. Right? Similarly here, this cell has to be the same as this one because these two see both of these cells, and there has to be one that's the same, so this one has to be the same as that. We also know one of these two has to be the same as one of those two, but it could be both, actually. Similarly, this cell has to be the same as that one. This cell is the same as one of these two. And one of these two has to be the same as one of these two. It could be both. Actually, it cannot be both in this case. But, yeah. So, this is 5, 6, or 7. This could be 1, 4, 5, 1, 3, 6, or 1, 2, 7. Or 2, 3, 5. If this is 5, this has to be 8, 9 here. Otherwise, it's 6, 7 with 6 or 7 with 9. This can be 1, 7, 2, 6, 3, or 5. Mm. So this is 3, 9, 4, 8, or 5, 7. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 as possibilities, but 4 and 8 cannot be here. Each 5. So if this is 5 and this is 5 and this is 8 and 9, the problem is that 9 cannot be beneath it because there is no, we have 8, 9 here. And we know 9 has to be one of these two. Therefore, and 1 cannot be above it because this can't be 1. So 5 is not possible here. So therefore, this has to be 6, 7, 9. This has to be 6, 7, or 9, which means this has to be 1 with either 2, 7 or it's 3, 6. So we know 1 is here. And it's either 1, 2, 7 or 1, 3, 6. And this can't be 6 or 7. We also know the 9 is here, which means 5 has to be one of these two in this box, right? I guess a 9 could be here. So actually, no, 5 doesn't have to be there. Either way, this could be 1, 2, 7 or 1, 3, 6. So either way, this can't be 1. So this can't be 1, 7, and it cannot be 2, 6, which means it has to have a 3 and a 5, right? Which means this cannot be 3, 6. Right, if we tried to make it 1, 2, if we try to make this 2, 6, that would eliminate 1, 2, 7 and 1, 3, 6, which are the only possibilities we have. So this has to be 7, which means this can't be 7. Therefore, this is a 7. This has to be 3 or 5. And there's no 3 or 5 here. The 5 has to have a 9 below it, so this can't be 5, this has to be 3, which makes that 5, which makes that 9, which makes that 6, which makes that 9. This cannot have 6 there. This can't be 3, this has to be 5. Which means the other two digits add up to 6, so it has to be 2 and 4. So this is 2 or 4, which means this has to be 4 and 8, because it requires one that's similar, so that's a 4. The rest of this has to be 1, 6, 7, 8, and this cannot be 1 or 7, this can't be 6, this can't be 8. The rest of row 1 has to be 6, 8 with 4, 9. This is 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. If this is 5, there would not be a 1 above it, and there would not be a 9 below it. So this cannot be 5 here. This is 1, 3, and 4. So this can't be 1. This has to be a 3 or 4. And this cannot be 3, 4, 3, 9, or 4, 8, because of the 1, 3, 4 triplet in the row. The rest of the row is 2, 6, 8, 9. This is 2, 6, 8, 9, 2, 6, 8, 9, 2, 6, 8, 9, no 5. This can't be 8 or 9. This can't be 2 because of the 2, 4 pair here. Everything else is fine. Therefore, this 15 cell has to be 5, 7. So this is either 3, 9 or 4, 8. We're not sure which. If this is 3, it's 8, 9 here. If it's 4, it's 7, 9. So either way, the 9 has to be one of these two. We have a 5, 7, 5, 7 pair here. So the rest of this cannot be 5 or 7. So if this is 5, it could be 1, 9, 2, 8, or 4, 6 here. If this is 7, it would have to be add up to 8. So it's 2, 6, or it cannot be 3, 5. So it would have to be 2, 6 if this is 5. Again, the 5, well, the 5 could actually have a 1 above it here. And actually, one of the 1s has to be above it then. So one of these is a 1. Which means 1 cannot be here. 1 has to be here. One of these is a 5, and 9 has to be here. So the 5 cannot be here. It has to be one of these two cells with a 1 above it. So the 1 has to be above it here. That means the 5 has to be one of these 3, which is fine. The 5 needs a 9 below it, so this cannot be 9. Or sorry, this has to be 9 because it can't have a 1 above it. So this cannot be 9. This can't be 5. This can't be 5. Therefore, this must be a 5, and the 1 has to be above it. So this is a 1. Actually, not true. The 1 actually could... The 9 could be below it. And in fact, it probably is. If this is 9, that would eliminate all possibilities for a 1 above it and a 9 below it. So this cannot be 9. Therefore, this is a 9, which means we don't need a 1 above it. It could be any of these 3. This can't be 9, therefore this can't be 3. This is 9, the 5 has to follow the 1. 5 has to be one of these two, which means 1 has to be one of those two. This has to be 3, 4, 5, and 8. As possibilities. The 5 could have a 9 below it, so we don't know. The rest of box 4 has to be 1, 2, 3, 6, and 7. And this can't be 7, this can't be 2 or 3. Okay, so this is essentially a... Right, where's the 4 in this column? Can't be any of these 6 cells, so it must be here. So this is a 4, which means 1's one of those two. These can't be 1. Therefore, 1 has to be one of these two, which means none of these could be 1. Therefore, where's the 1 in box 1? It has to be here. This is 2, 3, 6, 7. This can't be 1 anymore. So where's the 1 in box 7? It has to be this one. This then has to be 6, 7, or 8. So if it's 1, it's 1 and 9 with 5. Could be 2, 8, or 4, 6. If it's 7, it has to be 2 and 6 specifically. So that's 2 or 6. Because it cannot be 1, 7. It cannot be 3, 5 because of the 5, 7 pair here. This 5 has a 9 below it. Nine has to be one of these 3. And it cannot be that one. So it's one of these 2, actually. So 5 cannot... 1 has to be one of these 2. And 5 cannot be here. 5 cannot be here because 1 cannot be above it and 9 can't be below it because 3, 8, 9, and 4, 7, 9 have to be one of these two cages possibility. So 5 cannot be any of these. Can't be here because it can't have one. Can't be any of the. Can't be these two because it can't have a 1 above it or a 9 below it. Can't be here because it can't have a 1 below it or a 9 below it. And can't be here because it can't have a 1 above it or a 9 below it. So it has to be here. So this is 5, which makes this a 9, which makes this 1. So this cannot be 9. This can't be 5. This has to be the 5 then. This can't be 1, so it must be 2, which means this is a 1-7 pair. This can't be 1. So this must be 3 or 4, but this can never be 3 or 4 because of this 1, 3, 4 triplet in the box. Therefore, the other 3, 4 is here, which means this is that 3, 4 because it cannot be that one. So this one is not that one, but it has to be that. The last remaining digit is an 8. So this is 8, which means this cannot be 8, 9. It has to be 7, 9, which forces this to be 4, which makes that a 4, which makes that 3. Therefore, this can't be 4. And this can't be 7 anymore, so this is 1, which makes that 7. Again, that can't be pink. This can't be 1, so this is 3. This is 1. The remaining digits here are 2 and 6. This 5 has a 1 above it. This 5 has a 9 below it. This 5 cannot be here. If this is a 5, it can't have 9 below it or 1 above it, so this can't be 5. Therefore, this must be a 5. The 9 has to be directly below it. The 5 is one of those 3, and the 1 could be directly above it also. So the 9 has to be here, which means this cannot be 9. So this has to be 4 or 8. So it cannot be 1, 9 here, because if it were 1, 9, that would not have 4 or 8. And in addition, this is 8, and that's 4. Which makes that 8, which makes that 4. Therefore, 4 or 8 is here, which means it has to be, it cannot be 2, 6, 7. It has to be something with 5. So it's either 2, 8 or it's 4, 6. So this cannot be 6 then. This can't be the 1. Where is the 1 in box 9? It has to be here. This must be a 5, which makes this a 7. This can't be 4 or 8. This can't be 5. And this can't be 5. Which makes this a 5. This can't be 1. Let's see. What are the remaining digits here? It has to be 2, 3, 6, or 7. Not 4 or 7. 6 or 7. The remaining digits here cannot be 6 because if this is 2, 8, that forces that to be 6. And so no other cell can have a 6 here. So it could be 2, 3, 4, 8, 9. And this can't be 4. And this can't be 8. And this can't be 8. And this can't be 8, which makes that not a 2. This can't be 3 or 4, so this is 8, which means these can't be 8. Now we have only one digit remaining, so this must be an 8 here. This has to be 2 and 6. This cannot be 6, 7. So then this can't be 3. So this has to be a 6, 7, 6, 7 pair, which eliminates 6 and 7 from the rest of the row. This can't be 8, therefore, where's the 8 in column 1? It must be here, so this can't be 8. This is 2 or 6. One of these is 2 or 6, which means we can't have a 2 or 6 in the rest of the box. This can't be 3. This has to be 9, 1, 2, 3, or 6. This can't be 1. This 5 cannot have a 9 below it, so it must have a 1 above it, so this can't be 1. Therefore, this can't be 1. This 1 means this can't be 1, so this is 2, which makes that 3, which makes that 1. This 2 means this has to be 6, which makes that a 2. None of these can be 2. This 3 means this is a 2. The remaining digit is now a 7, so 9 cannot be here. This can't be 2, therefore this is 6, which makes that 2. Which means this can't be 2. This can't be 6, so this must be 8, and this must be 2 to add up a 10 here. This can't be 8, so we now have a 3, 9, 3, 9 pair in box 9, which eliminates 3 and 9 from the rest of the box. So this must be 4. This can't be 6. We have a 3, 9, 3, 9 pair here, which eliminates 3 and 9 from the rest of the cells in the column, and we can't have 4 and 6, so this must be 8, and this has to be a 1. So I think all the 5s have a 9 below it or a 1 above it. Yeah. This can't be 3, cannot be 3, and this can't be 9. So this becomes 7, which makes that a 9. This 7 means this can't be 7, so this is 6, which makes that 2, which makes that 6. This can't be 6, so this is 7. That has to be a 3. This can't be 6, so this is a 7 and a 6. This can't be 8. And this can't be 8, so therefore this must be 6, which makes that a 9, which makes that a 4. This can't be 9, so this is 3, which makes that a 9, and now we're just doing Sudoku. This has to be a 3, this can't be 3 or 9, so this is 6. This can't be 3 or 6, so this is 9. Remaining digits here are 2 and 7. This can't be 8, and it can't be 6, so this must be 7, which makes that 8. This can't be 7, so this is 2. That makes that 7. This 2 means that can't be 2, so that's a 4, and that's a 2. And this 4 means this can't be a 4, so this is 3 and 4. And we just fill in the remaining digits. This is 3, and that's a 6. And that's how you go about solving it. Yeah, I mean, it's fairly straightforward, right? As long as you go through all the possibilities here. And then remember that the Dutch flatmates has specific rule set. Anyways, that's how you solve that puzzle. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time on Frank Puzzles. Take care.